Starting off with local news, Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research completes a project to use artificial intelligence to study the impact of genetic mutations on public health.
The researchers were able to use artificial intelligence to predict the impact of individual genetic mutations on the growth of yeast mushrooms. Here's more.
Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research completes a unique scientific project entitled Using Artificial Intelligence to Model the Impact of Genetic Mutations on Public Health.
There is a tremendous revolution that happened in the field of genomics, in which we can figure out the sequence of all the genes in a given biological sample just like that. So we have a lot of genes. In humans, we expect that we have 25 to 30,000 genes. But the big issue is to figure out what do they do. And one of the method of figuring out what do they do, you break them and see what happens. So if you break gene X and you end up having a human that cannot see, your conclusion that gene X is involved in vision. However, you cannot do this systematically for humans. There is ethical reasons and there is economical reasons.
The most important outputs of this project are to reduce the economic cost of genetic studies and discover new genetic targets to the disease.
Our contribution to this project are threefold. First of all, the developed AI models have the ability to distinguish not just whether a cell will be dead or alive when a gene is knocked out. They can also distinguish dead, sick, and alive. And in the case of double gene knockout, they can also distinguish negative, neutral, positive, and suppression genetic interactions, unlike previous models. Second, our models are also able to explain why they make the predictions that they are making, which is very important for scientists to understand what's going on. And third, our models often outperform similar models in literature.
There are a lot of very large databases available online that deposit data from experiments performed by researchers around the world. And for this project, it was essential to identify the databases that contained data that was relevant to our research interests, and then to modify the data into a format that was compatible with the computational models that Dr. Khaja was developing. And so in order to do that, it was essential to first scan all the databases, identify the model organisms from which the data was derived, and then, like I said, modify the data into a format, feed it into the program to train it to identify the effect of specific gene knockouts, either single or double genes, on organismal viability in various organisms.
Modeling leads to the development of drugs to treat generation disease and the impact of genetic, whether increasing or minimizing the disease. Hadi Al-Fahad to Kuwait English News.